To me, it looks pretty terrible. I think that's not the way forward. How competitive we are, I mean, honestly, I don't really know.
Max Verstappen's own team boss just confirmed out loud that rival teams are actively calling about signing him, Sterry. The same week, Verstappen finally got to say, "I told you so," about F1's 2026 regulations. 2 stories, 1 weekend, 1 target. Max. First, years of him warning that the new rules were broken got quietly proven right. Then Red Bull team principal Laurent Mekies stood in front of Sky Sports and admitted other teams are making inquiries about Max's future. Not denied, not dodged, confirmed. And that's the part the paddock can't stop talking about heading into Hungary, because Red Bull just admitted the vultures are circling their own champion. Let's get into it, but before, if you want more updates and news on Max, then hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns. Rewind to earlier this year. When the 2026 regulations landed, a new power unit split, energy limited overtaking, cars that behave completely differently lap to lap, Verstappen was one of the loudest voices saying it was a mess. And the response from a lot of the paddock, fans included, was dismissive. He's complaining because he's not winning, he should stop moaning and just drive. That narrative stuck around for months. Verstappen kept racing, kept mostly staying quiet about it race to race, even joking in Belgium that people outside the press room could shoot him if he brought it up again. But going into the final race before the summer break, at the Hungaroring, he was asked about it one more time, and this time, his answer landed very differently. Here's exactly what Verstappen said. In the beginning, most people were saying, he's complaining, he should shut up. But I have to say that the last few races, more and more people are seeing the same thing that I could see coming already a long time ago. Read that back. The 4-time champion is on record saying the paddock is finally catching up to what he flagged months ago. And he made a point of separating this from sour grapes, saying flatly, "It's not about me not winning anymore. It's just because I care about the product." That's not a driver protecting his ego. That's a driver saying the sport itself has a problem, and now other people are starting to agree with him out loud. What exactly has people coming around? Verstappen says the fastest drivers can no longer make the difference the way they used to. The gap between teammates on the same team has shrunk dramatically under the new rules. At Silverstone and Spa specifically, energy management became the deciding factor in overtakes, not raw pace or racecraft. Even his own overtake of the month move on Lewis Hamilton in Austria came with an asterisk. Asked how he pulled it off, Verstappen grinned and said he simply pressed his boost button and suddenly had a bit more horsepower. F1's own social channels reportedly cut that quote from their coverage. Verstappen says that's exactly the point. Overtaking in 2026 isn't about skill anymore. It's about buttons, and that's precisely what he warned everyone about. But before we are going toward Team Boss point, make sure to give me hype. While that Vindication story was playing out, Red Bull's own team boss handed the paddock something even bigger. Asked directly by Sky Sports at the Belgian Grand Prix whether Red Bull had received interest in Verstappen from rival teams, Laurent Mekies did not deny it. He confirmed rival teams are making inquiries about Max's future, not no comment, not a flat denial. A confirmation from the man actually running Red Bull that other teams are circling his own 4-time world champion. Verstappen's contract runs to the end of 2028, but it reportedly contains performance clauses letting him walk away at the end of this season. And he's believed to have until October to make that call. Mekies just confirmed on the record that the phone is already ringing, but Mekies didn't stop there. And this is where it gets more interesting than a simple Max is leaving story. He said the interest runs both directions. Red Bull is also fielding calls from good drivers elsewhere on the grid who want in. So this isn't just rivals trying to poach Verstappen. It's Red Bull positioning itself as a team other top drivers actively want to join, even while its own reigning champion's future is unsettled. Reports last month already had Verstappen's camp speaking with McLaren, though Zak Brown has repeatedly shut that down publicly, saying flatly, "I've got my two drivers in Norris and Piastri." With Mercedes and Ferrari's seats locked under contract too, Verstappen's realistic options outside Red Bull for 2027 are actually narrower than the rumor mill suggests, even with rival interest confirmed. Put it together and here's the real tension. Mekies is banking on results, not contracts, to keep Verstappen, pointing to a major RB22 upgrade 3 races ago in Austria that's delivered 2 podiums in the last 3 races, Silverstone's rear wing failure aside. Meanwhile, Isaac Hadjar has strung together 6 straight top 6 finishes, including 6th from 21st on the grid at Spa. Proof, in Maki's framing, that Red Bull's car is trending the right way at exactly the moment Verstappen has to decide whether to stay. If the RB22 keeps closing the gap through the summer break, Red Bull's argument writes itself. If it stalls, Verstappen heads into October holding a vindicated argument about the rules, a confirmed line of interested suitors, and a genuine reason to walk. The numbers. Verstappen's contract runs through 2028, but includes a performance-based exit clause reportedly usable at the end of this season, with an October decision deadline. Red Bull's RB22 upgrade arrived at the Austrian Grand Prix 3 races before Hungary, and has produced podium finishes in 2 of the 3 races since the UAS, Silverstone being the exception, where a rear wing failure caused a late spin and cost Verstappen a stronger result. Hadjar has now recorded 6 consecutive top 6 finishes, including climbing from 21st on the grid to 6th at Spa. Verstappen himself won F1's Overtake of the Month award for his Austrian Grand Prix pass on Hamilton. On the seat market, McLaren's Zak Brown maintains his lineup of Norris and Piastri is settled. Mercedes and Ferrari's driver seats are also under contract through the relevant period, narrowing where a Verstappen exit could actually land. And per Maki's own comments to Sky Sports, the inquiries about Verstappen are real, confirmed, on the record, not paddock gossip this time. That combination, vindicated criticism, confirmed rival interest, and a hard October deadline, is what makes this Hungary weekend different from every other will he stay cycle this year. Here's the honest read. Verstappen didn't need to win an argument to be right. He just needed the sport to catch up, and this week, it did. At the same time, his own team just confirmed rivals are circling while quietly betting its case for keeping him on a car that's finally trending upward. Both things are true, and both are pointing at the same date, October. If the RB22's progress holds through the summer break, Red Bull's pitch to Max gets a lot stronger. If it doesn't, he heads into that decision with every argument already in his favor. We'll be tracking every upgrade, every quote, every inquiry between now and then. Subscribe to Orange Army so you're not finding out after the decision's already made.